Welcome to homework.
We're given state tables, and we're asked to find the output generated from the input string 01110 for the finite state machine with this state table. In part A, we're given the state table from exercise 1A. So I'm not going to draw it here, but if you look in the book, you can see it there, and it's much easier to read than if I were to draw it here. Now, as with all state machines, we're going to start in the state S0. And then the first input symbol is a 0. So by our table, the machine is going to move to state S1 and gives a 0 as an output. So I'll just sort of write the output string here as I'm talking. So our first output is going to be a 1. It gives a 0 as the first output. The input was a 0, so is the output. Okay. Now, the next input symbol is a 1. And so, looking at our table, we see that the machine is going to move to state S2. And we see that the output is going to be 1. So we have 0, 1 so far. And the next input in the machine is a 1. So the machine is now going to move from state 2 to state 1. And it's going to give a 0 as an output. So the next bit is 0. And now the fourth input is 1. So the machine is going to move from state S1 to state S2 while giving 1 as an output. So the next output is a 1. And the fifth input is a 0. So the machine is going to move from state S2 to state S1 and will give the 0 as an output. So the next bit is a 0. And that was the whole input string, so it follows that the output is going to be 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. In part B, we're given the table from exercise 1B. Again, you can find this in the book pretty easily and use this to solve this problem. And we're given the input string 0, 1, 1, 1, 0. So the machine is going to start in the state S0. The first input symbol is a 0, and so the machine is going to move from S0, according to the table, to the state S1, and according to the table, will give a 0 as an output. So our first bit is 0. Now the next input symbol is a 1, so the machine is going to move from state S1 to state S0, and will give 1 as the output. Next bit is a 1. The next input is a 1, so the machine is going to move from the state S0 to state S0, so it's really just staying in the same place, and it's going to give a 0 as an output. So the next bit is a 0. And now the fourth input in the machine is a 1. So the machine is going to move from state S0 to state S0, so it's going to stay in state S0, and will give a 0 as an output. So we have the next bit is 0. And finally, the fifth input is a 0. So the machine is going to move from state S0 to state S1, and it will give 0 as an output. So the fifth bit is a 0. And it follows that our output string is 0, 1, 0, 0, 0. In part C, we're given the table from exercise 1C. And again, our input string is 0, 1, 1, 1, 0. Now, the machine is going to start in state S0. And since the first input is 0, according to the table, the machine is going to move from S0 to S0. So it's going to stay at S0. and it will give a 1 as an output. So our first bit is a 1. The next input symbol is a 1, so the machine is going to move from state S0 to state S4 and will give a 1 as an output. So the next bit is also a 1. The next input is a 1, so the machine is going to move from state S4 back to state S0 and will give a 0 as an output. So the next bit is a 0. Now the fourth input is a 1, so the machine is going to move again from state S0 to state S4 and will give a 1 as an output. So the next bit is 1. And finally, the fifth input is a 0, so the machine is going to move from state S4 to state S1 and will give 1 as an output. So the last bit is a 1, and therefore the output string is 110